Okay, here's the plan. We're going to watch this body cam footage of an arrest being made in Florida. And then I'm going to explain what this is all about if you're not familiar with the case. But as soon as I play this, you might recognize it. You could see the footage is from November 24th of 2025.
Hey!
How you doing, Miss Sharon?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good.
Uh-oh, they're coming for you, Sharon!
They don't want me.
They want Reggie. What's up?
Well, we're here for you, ma'am. Definitely here for you.
Whoa, why?
We're waiting on the detective to get here, but we have, with all the information that we do have, you have a warrant for your arrest.
They're teasing. They have to be.
Ma'am, we're not.
Oh,
You can back up. You can
I'm
go home.
so sorry.
No, you're okay.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, go ahead and go home. Thank you.
I don't understand.
Yes, ma'am. So,
You're Sharon, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah?
all right. So what we're going to do is we're going to put you in handcuffs, okay?
Can I take my dog in and get my husband?
We'll give the dog
I'll go ahead and get your husband, and we'll get your dog taken care of. But, no.
Okay, so by now those of you who are familiar with this case and may have seen this body cam footage with me in a live stream before, yeah, you know that this lady's name is Debra Newton. And yet here she was going by the name Sharon Nealy. And for 42 years, the whole world was looking for her daughter, Michelle, who was last seen in 1983. As in, there were age progression photos, you know, the missing persons flyers, resources being used to try to find Michelle. There's the guy that Deborah was married to, Joseph, who had full custody of Michelle, their daughter, before Deborah went on the run. And then she married another guy called Wayne. And then she also ran from him after 10 years. They got divorced, but then she just completely cut ties with him, as in Michelle, their daughter, who grew up with him as a father figure then, had no more contact with him. They found each other eventually on Facebook and started talking, as in Michelle and the second husband, Wayne. And then she got remarried to this guy that you'll see in this footage. He'll come out during this body cam and in the police interview that we're going to watch together. And his name is Reggie, and he's former law enforcement, and he just looks like so shocked, like, what is going on? Because he knows this woman is Sharon. And now he's finding out, wait, her name is not Sharon, it's Deborah? It's Debra Newton. This is tied to a missing persons case for 42 years? Yes. So, in today's video, we are going to watch the rest of this arrest video, and then we are going to watch the police interview together, which thankfully is a police video interview, and it's actually really good video quality and audio quality. So, always grateful for that. So let's continue to watch this, and then I'll give you a full rundown just quickly of what this case is about so that you're all caught up, and then we'll watch that police interview. My name is Grizzly K. This is Grizzly True Crime, and check this out. Please note that this content is for adults only. Viewer discretion advised. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe, like, and share.
She's, I don't think she's gonna get away. Well, you don't have to do that. I'm not gonna.
I gotta still put you in handcuffs,
Here,
man.
let me have this. I promise I will not hurt your dog under any circumstances.
We'll do it in the
right
front,
here with
okay?
your dog. Look, if you're in the room, the front, you should move.
63, you can go to the station.
I didn't do anything.
Not to get your watch where it's gonna pinch you or anything.
Don't let him go because I don't have it.
46, I'll be out of the
I don't know what they're doing.
Well, you guys, somebody's got to tell me something. What's going on? She has a warrant.
Here comes Reggie, the third
All the
husband.
information that we have.
you let you know, she don't want those in 22.
For her arrest. Well, I'm waiting on the detective who can come explain to you just everything in just 1 second, okay? Here, Give me that real quick.
When it case on 371, I'm guessing once if you can get no answer.
What's going on, Sharon?
I don't know anything.
I'll have Mr. Reggie. I'll have the detective come talk to you in just 1 second. Okay, I gotta make a phone call. Okay? We're not in any kind of rush. Just give us 1 minute. I understand in the middle of your driveway. If you want to just step by the truck, that's fine too. Yeah, in the shade. Just give me 1 minute. Okay?
Mike, 967. The units were 1012 detained.
I didn't do anything. Nothing.
Let me stick her in the house.
Yes, Bill, did you copy?
If you're watching this video rather than just listening, then look in the background. There's that neighbor. And now Deborah is looking at her like, what? Some people wonder if the neighbor there that said, they're coming for you, Sharon, could have been the person who called in the tip to Crime Stoppers. We'll go over that after this arrest video.
If you want to, you can stay in the shade. I know it's probably warm out for you.
Well, I was getting ready to go to the rec center, so I...
Okay. Well, like I said, the detective's on his way to talk to you and your husband real quick.
There it is.
Yeah, just a minute. We can have a chat with y'all. Okay.
Oh, no, that's Wolf.
Yeah, cool. The detective will be here in just a minute.
There he is.
I've never done anything. Anything.
Well, where are you taking her to?
Central Operations to be interviewed. Like I said, he'll explain all to you in just 1 second.
I thought this was something to do with the play or something when they came in.
Stand over there. Wall.
Bring me back to the phone.
600 Southeast 92nd and Terrace.
LT. You haven't requested for a transport yet, have you?
I just did.
You did? Okay. I didn't want to do it twice.
I just did it.
What happened? She walked out? Yeah, she come out. There was the grass with the dog. And we were sitting there and we were talking. Oh, tell her, like, oh, the hard toast. There she is.
Okay, are you ready to watch the police video interview with me or to listen along? In the spring of 1983, so I got a recap right before so that you get context. Debra Newton, like 1983, okay. Debra Newton, then residing in Louisville, Kentucky, informed her husband, Joseph Newton, that she was departing early with their 3-year-old daughter, Michelle Marie Newton, to secure a new job and prepare a home for the family in Georgia. Joseph was to follow shortly thereafter. However, upon his arrival, Deborah and Michelle were nowhere to be found, initiating a decades-long mystery. Like, this was a missing persons case for 42 years. And the missing person was their daughter, Michelle, okay, who is now 46 years old and has reunited with her father. Now, authorities classified the case as parental custodial interference, issuing indictments against Deborah and an FBI warrant for unlawful flight to avoid prosecution. She appeared on lists sought parental kidnapping fugitive, even in some of the top 10 lists. Like, she was wanted for this, right? And the investigation persisted for years. And then the case went completely cold. And then family knocked on the police doors again in 2015 or so, when the case was re-examined, because they said, hey, really, we want to know where Michelle is. Where's Deborah? Where's Michelle? Are they alive? We're very worried about them. I mean, it had been decades since they'd seen them or heard from them or anything. Now also, Deborah had also run from her own mother, father, and sister. And her mother and father have since passed away, but her sister is still alive. And so she provided a DNA sample, and that helped to identify Deborah once they found her as Sharon Nealy, living in Florida. Let's quickly explore how that happened. So in 2025, a Crime Stoppers tip directed investigators to Marion County, Florida, where a 66-year-old woman living under the assumed name Sharon Nealy matched Debra Newton's description. And then confirmation came through photographic comparison and DNA evidence, establishing a 99.99% match with a family member. Debra Newton was arrested on November 24th of 2025 on charges of felony custodial interference, a charge with no statute of limitations in Kentucky. And the indictments were renewed in 2016 or so. So it still took a long time after the indictments were renewed for the tip to come in. And I'm so grateful to the person who called in the tip. They saw something, they said something, they actually did something about it. And as I say, a lot of people speculated could have been that lady. That's the neighbor that said, they're coming for you, Sharon. Because people say she was so hilarious and so animated that they think she could have been the one. I don't know if she was or wasn't, but I'm just glad whoever called the tip in so that this case can be solved. Because over the years, there were missing persons flyers, there were age progression photos, the FBI was on the case, everybody was looking for Michelle, who was last seen when she was 3 years old in Kentucky. And her father was looking everywhere for her. Okay, so Michelle Newton, the daughter, right, now 46 years old and living under a different identity, was unaware of her true origins until informed by authorities following her mother's apprehension. She's since reunited with her father after more than 42 years apart, and she feels protective over him, and so do I. Because I feel like it's so easy to say, oh, Deborah said he was an abuser, therefore he must have been. And then people have this argument of, well, why else would Deborah go on the run? Well, I don't know. I think there's more to the story. I don't think it's one simple answer. I think there can be more to the story. There could be childhood trauma. There could be paranoia. There could be mental health reasons, which goes with maybe the paranoia, PTSD, things like that, from maybe something that happened in her childhood. I could speculate too. I can have a million reasons. And I actually have personal experience in a case similar to this, except I was not a reported missing person. And I'll tell you more about that at the end. Okay, just quickly, don't worry, I won't take you to Trauma Town. I'll just tell you quickly what my opinion is after we watch this entire police video interview, and I ask you to do the same. Even if you've seen it elsewhere, okay? These things take time. So thank you so much to Grizzly Cat for helping me to obtain this. This is obtained through a Freedom of Information Act request, FOIA request. And even though Sam had it long before me, long on YouTube years, it's like 1 week is like a YouTube decade. And you guys were all saying, did you see it? Did you see it? Did you see it? Yeah, I'm waiting for my copy. It takes some time. Okay, no, we have it. We're going to watch it together. Okay, and we're going to analyze this interview. I'm not going to chip in too much, but where necessary, if I need to explain something, I will. And then I ask, just watch the whole thing and then make an informed decision, even though, and share your opinion, even though this is the tip of the iceberg. We don't know the whole story. And remember, this is Deborah's side of the story. And Deborah lies a little bit. Her second husband said so too. If you want to watch his interview, there's a channel called Criminally Obsessed. And Ann Emerson interviewed Wayne, the second husband. And he has some interesting things to share, which does show a bit of a pattern, right? And so I'm certainly not taking away from if Deborah experienced abuse or anything like that. I'm not taking away from that. I'm just saying it might also be a bit of a story she's told herself. It might not be true. I'd rather give the benefit of the doubt until we hear both sides of the story, especially in a case like this. I think this case is very, very complex, right? And I'm going to share my opinion, as I said at the end, as to why I might have a different perspective on this one. And it doesn't mean it's the right one. It's my opinion. You have the right to your opinion. I have the right to mine. Okay? So we're going to share those in the comments section, and I'm going to share mine verbally with my whole face, okay, at the end. So let's watch this. Now, the beginning is, of course, Deborah coming into the police interview room and her just really sitting there, and you'll see like fading, right? That a little fading effect I put in, because we're not going to watch her just sitting there for over an hour. We're gonna. I just want to show you when she enters, when she talks. They got a water bottle. She has to go to the toilet. She comes back, and just how stressed she is, just waiting there for the police to come in and finally interview her. And then, where necessary, as I'll say, I will chip in.
If you want to take a seat right there, I'll take the cuffs off here, right?
I'm not going to do anything.
No, I gotcha. I'm going to take them off, yeah. And like I said, I'll see about going to the bathroom as soon as I can, all right? I will. I'll try to make that happen for you, all right?
I'm sorry, give me a couple minutes. Would you prefer?
Just water, but
Okay,
I
perfect.
really have to go to the bathroom.
You got to? Okay, let me grab something and we'll take you to the bathroom.
Please.
Now, you know the channel I just mentioned, Criminally Obsessed. I'll link her channel and channel in the description box for you in case you want to go watch the interview. She also interviewed Michelle, Deborah's daughter. That was very insightful too. So I think to start getting a clearer picture of what the heck is going on here, we have to listen to everybody's side of the story. I would really like to hear Joseph's side of the story. And I have invited him for an interview. I don't know if he's going to want to or not, but I will try, okay? All right, Grizzlies, I'm going to do my best. But the second husband, Wayne, said that in this interview, Deborah tells police that she's claustrophobic. And he says he was married to her for 10 years. They went on ship cruises. They were in tiny cabins, and not once was she claustrophobic. So to me, there's definite signs from people in Deborah's life that she can quite easily lie. And I just like to keep that in mind, right? And that she didn't have custody for whatever reason of Michelle, and then she ran. So maybe she thought she's going to lose her daughter for whatever reason. Okay, so let's keep going here.
Please, please, please.
All right, come on.
Oh, thank you.
Just follow that sergeant right there.
All right, he'll be right back in, okay? If you need anything, just knock on the door or something, okay? Or somebody will be in, I don't know exactly who.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for helping.
Miss Sharon,
Hey.
I think I gave you my name when we were at the house, but I'm Detective Mundorf. I'm assisting Detective Escobar. Just trying to get some basic information and everything. Your daughter Amanda, was her middle name Marie? Yes. Okay. Do you know a date of birth?
You mean as Michelle?
Yes. So we can identify her and find her. Yes, ma'am.
Then you would want to look under but I can give you her phone number.
Okay.
She's, did I talk to you at the house?
No, ma'am, that wasn't me. Like I said, that was.
And I don't know if she's giving the correct date. Please note that this is public record. I'm not sharing anything that I'm not supposed to be sharing. It is directly from the police department through a FOIA request. Now, all the missing flyers had a different date listed for Michelle's birthday, so I'm not sure if she's still got a couple of layers going on, but shame. This must be so confusing for Michelle, who also had a different name, you know what I mean? It's like Michelle and Deborah became Amanda and Sharon. And Michelle had many questions her entire life. And that gut instinct was just going, and it's still going. I think she's going to find out the whole truth in this case.
Detective Escobar.
Okay.
He's a little shorter than I am.
She's in Pennsylvania. I mean...
I was talking to Mr. Reggie, and he said, husband, Joe, is his legal name Joseph?
Jose. Jose.
Jose? Is it? We know him as Joseph, right? And we've seen him interviewed a little bit on some news clips. Jose, okay. I still want to, I have questions because I think she can lie. And here and there, I'm just like, what? Are you sure? Are you telling the truth now? I don't know. I mean, most people that she lied to in her life are like, I don't know if she'll ever come clean with whatever it is she was running from or hiding.
Avanto.
You know his middle name? Or does he have one?
I don't know.
Don't know? Okay. Do you know their address off the top of your head? And then this date of birth, is that for Amanda or for Michelle?
Amanda.
Okay. And for Michelle, what would that date of birth be? Okay. And Miss Michelle's middle name?
Marie.
Marie. And last name?
She was born as Newton.
Newton. Okay. Like I said, I'm not familiar with all the information because like I said, Detective Escobar, the one you spoke to in the back of the truck, he has all the information.
Is he coming?
Yes, ma'am, he will. He will. He's still making some phone calls and everything, and he's going to be coming in. That's why he asked me to try to get the basic information and everything for everybody.
I'm really scared.
Why?
I don't know what's going to happen.
Oh, so he'll be, like I said, I don't have all that information. He'll be able to come in and to explain, I don't want to tell you something, and it's not the truth, because like I said, I don't know everything. He has all that information, so he'll be coming in. As far as I'm aware of, all I know of is there was a warrant issued in reference to this with your daughter, I guess, with some parental custody issues. And then I guess the other side of the family's been pushing it to find out because they didn't know if y'all were still alive or anything like that. And that's all I know.
I mean, it literally wasn't just Deborah and Joseph with their daughter Michelle. There were also aunts, uncles, grandparents, a whole family really wanting to know Michelle. And then Deborah took her and went on the run and changed their names. You know what I mean? So I think it's unfair to all those family members. And remember, Deborah ran from her own mother, father, and sister too. And then she also from her second husband. So it could just be a lot of trauma. A lot of trauma. It could be a cycle repeating itself. But my goodness, all these people that have now been able to reunite with Michelle are so happy. And she's so happy as well because she's been looking for them. It's been in her heart. It's been in her soul her whole life. Like, where are these people? I know there's more to what my mother's saying.
So we just need to get all of our ducks in a row, make sure we got everybody within the situation, and then go from there. The other question they had me ask is, I got your phone. Do you have a picture of your daughter? Is there a way you can... That way I can just like take a picture of your phone of the picture. And you'll have a good relationship, talk
Every day.
every day.
But she doesn't know.
But she's always had a hunch, and she's been asking you a lot of questions, ma'am. And you lied to her. That sucks. Most people say out of protection.
More recent.
I think there could be a different reason. Again, I'm going to save that till the end. Shh.
You can tell we text all day long. How long do I have to stay here?
Oh, that I don't know. I know when Mr. Tony comes in here to talk to you and everything, and then whenever y'all are done talking, and then that'll be it.
I'm sorry, be patient.
Very fine.
That's not big enough.
And you said she has no idea about any of this. Does she usually work during the day, or she like a stay-at-home mom?
She works. She's a sales rep. She's pretty.
She's pretty, very pretty. Got pretty eyes. Okay. And you want to lock it? I don't know what button it is to lock it. That way, or is like a medical sales rep, or?
No, she works for emergency restoration company for floods and
And that's in PA. Never heard of that. It's probably kind of like our
Surf Pro.
restoration specialist type deal.
That's it.
I got you. All right. Well, let me get this information to Mr. Tony. Good on water and everything.
Do you know how long it'll be?
To him come over here, I'd probably say probably within the next 5 minutes or so after I give him the information.
I'm claustrophobic, that's why
I got
but
you.
I'm doing
I got
okay.
you.
I'm breathing in.
See that? I'm claustrophobic, that's why I ask. And her second husband, who was married to her for 10 years, says she was never claustrophobic. Okay, so there's a couple of things that he debunked after seeing this interview. Let's just go back just a few seconds so we can hear the full sentence here.
Type deal.
That's it.
I got you. All right. Well, let me get this information to Mr. Tony. Good on water and everything.
Do you know how long it'll be?
To him come over here, I'd probably say probably within the next 5 minutes or so after I give him the information.
I'm claustrophobic, that's why
I got
but
you.
I'm doing
I got
okay.
you.
I'm breathing into the nose and out through the mouth.
Yes, ma'am. If you need to just go to the restroom or anything, just knock on the door.
She let me.
Oh, she did? Okay, awesome. I'll try to see if I can speed it up for you. No, I gotta do the other thing. All right. I'd probably say 5 minutes. Tony's over there talking to Mr. Reggie. What I needed to do real quick, which I apologize. I thought Mr. Tony already did when he was talking to you earlier. I don't know if that's stabbing anybody. For us to continue talking to you and everything, because technically you're not free to leave right now, we have to read you this. And what it is, it's just a Miranda warning. So that way you know your rights. It says you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him or her present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you for any questioning if you wish. And you can decide at any time to execute these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Did you understand those rights that I read to you? Yeah. Okay.
I've seen it on TV.
Yes, ma'am.
I already gave you information.
Yeah, and like I said, I apologize. I honestly thought that Mr. Tony Reggie that at the house. And like I said,
It's okay. I just want to deal with this.
Yes, ma'am.
Would have been great to deal with it in the right way, which is just to even anonymously call the FBI or any of those tip lines that were shared for 42 years and say, hey, I'm the mother, okay? We're okay. And this is the reason I was getting away. I don't think it would hold up anyway. There would probably be a legal battle. But the point is, there was a right way to deal with this and not pretend that it didn't happen. Right? I know hindsight's 20/20. Just adding my little 2 cents here.
And I just want to make sure I got this information, everything correct too, the phone number. Correct. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We probably should have looked it up on my phone when I had it, but
I can grab it again if you think we
I
need to
think it's
verify.
okay. I think it's good.
Good? Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay. All right. I'll be right back.
Take 2 chairs. Okay. Sorry, I was talking to you.
Anything you can tell me?
We'll talk, yeah. I'll tell you everything.
No, my husband, is he okay?
He's right there. We'll give you a chance to talk to him here in a little bit. We have a couple questions. Kind of want to start.
Yeah, just a few questions. 42 years worth. Her own daughter has a couple of questions. So does Reggie, her current husband. So does Wayne, second husband. And especially Joseph. He's like, what the hell were you thinking? So let's hear the questions and answers.
From the beginning, we know you're Deborah. The warrant's already been confirmed out of Kentucky. Okay. We're trying to get in contact with Amanda just because she's still considered a missing person. There's a lot of unanswered questions throughout the years. Multiple agencies have been working on this case. The FBI, the U.S. Marshals, multiple Sheriff's Office, the Louisville Police Department. So I want to kind of give you the opportunity to just explain what happened, like how we ended up here today.
I don't even know if I can remember all the details. It's a long time ago. But when I was married to him, we got married, I think I was 17, and things were pretty good, but then he wanted some sort of open marriage, and he took pictures of me, and then when I tried to leave, Amanda was a baby.
We're talking about Joseph.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joseph, my husband. And he took pictures of me with 2 different men, 2 different times. Not together, but 2 different times. And said that if I left him, divorced him, he would take those films. They weren't videos, they were like film, kind of old-fashioned film. Right. And he would share them and show them to my family, my mom and dad. And so I had an opportunity to run, and I went to Atlanta, Georgia.
What year do you think that was?
$1983, I think. And the person there helped me to get false identification. And so I just kind of rebuilt a life because he was really mean. And I became this me person, and I just didn't really look back. My husband doesn't know. He has nothing to do with this. He doesn't know. My daughter doesn't know. I think I think they probably both have suspected things in my life, like why I didn't get a driver's license in the state of Florida.
Now, I'm kind of coming into this, like I told you before, I don't know everything. So Joseph was your first husband, correct?
Let's just pause it right there. Okay, so she said she got married when she was about 17. So that's very young, right? One's brain isn't fully formed by 25. So that's young, okay? And so there's a factor there. Then she said that her husband, Joseph, wanted some sort of open marriage and that he took pictures of her with two different men, two different times. They were not videos. She first said pictures. Then she said they were not videos. They were old-fashioned films. Now this, it could be true. It could mean the threat of humiliation. She says that he said that he would share those with her family if she ever decided to leave him or divorce him. Now, a lot of people go, you see there, she said he was really mean, okay? And so people take that and they go, oh my goodness, they hear it, okay? He was an abuser and he was sexually depraved and all of this, all right? That's one way to look at it. There are other possibilities if one were to give the other people in the story the benefit of the doubt, okay? That Joseph had, for some reason, full custody of Michelle. That's interesting that the courts granted that he had full custody and Deborah didn't, number one. Secondly, she was young. I think she was 23 when she went on the run. And so she was still young, you know what I mean? And maybe she was just like, oh, I'm just going to start a new life. I just don't want this whole, married life right now. And I'm just going to run off with my child. I mean, that could be a reason. Or there could be that maybe she had an affair. I'm going to say this, okay? Maybe she had an affair with two different men at two different times. Maybe he had a private investigator. Maybe those are the old-fashioned films or pictures she's referring to. And the shame was too much for her to bear. And even of her family finding out. And so she left. Because I think shame is such a heavy factor here. And again, it might be based on my own perspective, okay, in my own life. So bias in this way. But I do want to offer it as a possibility that Michelle's mother may have experienced so much shame for being caught doing something that maybe she feels ashamed about, that she went on the run. She just like, I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna start a whole new life, I'm gonna have a whole new name and I'm never looking back. I'm so embarrassed, right? So, more on my perspective later.
And where was this at? Where did y'all originally live?
In Kentucky.
In Kentucky. Do you remember the city of Kentucky?
It was in Louisville.
Louisville? Okay. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm kind of trying to get all the information.
I never spoke to him again. And when I was kind of going through the process, he said that I couldn't leave him.
Okay, so that was a lie because she had spoken to him on the phone several times. He kept on looking for them, and at some point he got hold of them. She had maintained some sort of contact with him, being Joseph, and spoke to him. It was sometime, they left in 1983, right? April 2nd of 1983. And then, like 1984 and 1985, somewhere there was a final phone call. So she's lying. She said, I just left and never spoke to him again. You did. You strung him along a little bit and he was like, what the heck are you doing? Right? And then she just disappeared. So I think that would be the time that it took for her to maybe, I don't know, change her name and do all of that and set up a new life. And I also don't then know if her second or third marriage is legal, because wouldn't she still technically be married to the first guy, right? Now, the second husband, Wayne, said that she told him that her parents had died in a car crash and she thought it was from some government conspiracy. But they were very much alive when she told him that. Why would she do that? Do you know what I mean? Like, why are you telling people my parents are deceased? If they died in a car crash, it's government conspiracy. Why are you telling the police right now that you left and never contacted Joseph again when you did, and there are records of that? So she's still lying. So just be very careful if you give her too much benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean? Just keep an open mind in this case. Because would it not be horrifying? Think about this. Wouldn't it be bad if she's using like that he was really mean and he did all these things as an excuse to cover up something that she feels really ashamed of? And then she deprived him of spending time with his own daughter for 42 years and lied to her daughter and deprived her daughter of all her family members on that side, which she's now reunited with. That really sucks. And all the police resources and everything, right? There's quite a bit to think about here. So let's just take it one step at a time.
Process like divorce or?
I wanted to get a divorce because I didn't want to be that kind of person. But I can still remember the two men. I can still remember their names. I can still remember that. But he took pictures.
How did you leave Kentucky? Like under like a false pretense, or did you?
No, I told them I was going to a job in Georgia. I don't know if it was Atlanta or somewhere around Atlanta. I don't remember, but I think it was Atlanta. It was with a trucking company. And that I was going to go down there to work, and he was okay with that. My parents weren't real happy, but he was okay with that. And when I got there, I knew that that's how I was going to get away.
Did she have a boyfriend on that side? It's a valid question, okay?
How long were you there for?
I don't think it was a whole year.
Okay. Now, the person who helped you kind of create a new identity, did you go by, did you immediately switch over to Sharon, or were you somebody else before, or the name that you used before? Was it Sharon?
I'm not sure if I understand.
So when you created your new identity, was now the name that you went to was Sharon? Okay, there's not another name you used throughout the years?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where did you go to Georgia?
Florida.
Okay, where at in Florida?
Tampa.
Okay. Tell me about that. Like, what? You left Georgia and you went to Tampa.
I got a little efficiency type apartment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even remember how I got it because, well, I had identification and a driver's license, but I got the driver's license with fake information that I had from the state of Florida. But then I got a job at a daycare center. And I think during that time, the Social Security number that I was using was not the Social Security number that I have today. I don't remember why, but I do remember having to go to the Social Security Administration and getting a Social Security number. At the same time, I think I got my daughter's. And it was easily done because back then you didn't have to have that number when you were born. But for whatever reason, I seem to remember having a reason to change the Social Security number when I was working at the daycare center.
And this is a social you use now?
That's the one I got through the Social Security Department.
That's the one you use now?
Correct.
Okay, the zero. So you came down to Tampa. Were you married? Were you single? Were you
Single.
Okay. And you lived in a low efficiency, and you worked at a daycare. How'd you meet Michael?
Michael.
You were married to a Michael Brookover?
No.
Okay. You were not married to him?
No, not Michael. I was married to a Wayne.
Wayne.
Michael was Wayne's brother, who is deceased.
Okay. Okay.
Now, Wayne is husband number 2, who was interviewed on Criminally Obsessed. Okay, that's one I mentioned earlier.
Michael, Wayne, my ex-husband, is still alive.
Okay. What's
I hope I said that right. Wayne was interviewed, right, on Criminally Obsessed. Michael is his brother. Okay.
Michael's last name and what's Wayne's last name?
Brookover.
Rocco.
Yeah.
How do you spell it?
Brookover.
Okay, so the way it sounds.
Yep. I'm not sure how that got twisted, but
No, it's okay. And there's a lot of information throughout the years, and just some things start to like mix up. But where did you guys live together, in Tampa? Okay. So how did you leave Tampa?
I was dating someone and I just wanted to get away. And we kind of sort of just picked a place on the map, and it was Pennsylvania. And I went to Pennsylvania and started working for a restaurant. And at the restaurant is where I met Wayne.
So you hear that. She says, so I was dating someone and just wanted to get away. So this is after running from Joseph with Michelle. Okay, she goes to Florida. And then she says, I was dating someone and just wanted to get away, so then I moved to Pennsylvania. Well, that sounds like a pattern to me, that when you're done with a relationship, you want to move states. And then you move on to the next guy. And when you're done with him, then you want to move states again. Do you know what I mean? That's interesting. That's what I say. Her pattern is quite interesting. To me, it has, some signs of either like paranoia or PTSD. Now, I'm not trying to armchair diagnose her. I'm just thinking that that's what it seems more like. That it's like, oh my word, this relationship's over, I'm leaving. So why? Is it shame that you're carrying with you? Does that get triggered? Or is it a repeat of a cycle, finding abusive men? Or is it just pure selfishness? How do we know? There's so much to consider here, right?
And his real name is not Wayne, it's Chester. I don't know, it's probably important somewhere along the line.
With a J or CH?
CH, yes.
Chester.
Chester.
Okay. And that's Brookover?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because whatever you're doing with that, you probably need to know that's his real name. And he lives in I think it's Virginia.
I'm pretty confident I've ran into Chester's name before somewhere, because I've looked into Michael and I saw Chester's name there.
So you met Wayne in Tampa?
Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Did you date anybody in Tampa?
I went out. I had a roommate that was a girl.
Mm-hmm. And what year do you think you moved from?
So the police were saying that they found some connection to the name Chester when it comes to Michael, but not when it comes to Wayne. Remember, Michael is Wayne's brother, so I don't know if is she telling the truth, or did she, I'm speculating just to try to make sense of this. Did she have an affair with Wayne's brother Michael, and is that why she's saying it? Was his name Chester? Is it an alter ego? I don't know. Is it an alias? I don't know anything about these people. I'm just thinking outside the box because she likes to throw out these little stories like, oh, by the way, his real name's Chester. And they're like, yeah, we didn't find that. We found it connected to Michael, though. Huh? Okay. A lot of changing of names going on, right?
Tampa to Pennsylvania.
I'm 86.
86.
Is this Michael, Wayne's brother?
Can I get up and look?
No, I'm pretty to you. I got a lot of paperwork here.
I think so. I'm going to say I didn't know him very well. And like I said, he passed away fairly young. I think that's him. He's from Ohio, West Virginia, Ohio. One of those. But there was never any relationship between us.
It's interesting that you mentioned that, ma'am, because I think there may have been. Why bring that up, huh? Why would there be? Because it was well, she said she was never married to Wayne, right? But they were together for 10 years, okay? And that was Michelle, the daughter's like primary father figure growing up. Very important guy in her life, right? Okay, so she's like, yeah, there was no relation with the brother. Well, this isn't the days of our lives, right? There shouldn't be. But I'm thinking that there very well could have been, which if I were to speculate along that tangent, maybe that caused a little more shame and caused you to also drop kick that guy and run to another state. Okay.
So you moved to Pennsylvania and that's where you met Wayne. How long were you and Wayne together?
I think 10 years.
10 years.
That matches his story.
Did he ever suspect that, did you tell him the truth or you just kind of...
No one in this world knows the truth but me. No one. No one knows this story.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and do tell us, ma'am. Do tell us, because the story makes no sense. It doesn't add up, you know. So maybe now's the time. Or maybe in court, you know what I mean? There will be a time to tell the story, but will she ever tell the full story? I'm not all that hopeful, huh?
And over the years, Amanda, did she go by different names as well, or just Amanda?
No, I mean nicknames. Like Manda.
What about her last name? Did you already change her last name?
She got married.
Yeah, I saw that.
She was always Amanda Marie.
But she was never Amanda Brookover or anything?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Did you ever keep up with, like, your case in Kentucky? Like, you never researched it?
Nope, I was afraid to. I wanted to.
Careful now. Listen to how she speaks. Now, one could say, well, that makes sense. One could also say, damn, that's calculated, hey? You don't want to leave a trail like a criminal? Like you're scared that they're going to extract, that Uncle Google's going to get you, basically.
I wanted to look online and see if my parents were still alive, but I was afraid to, because I know when you look for things, sometimes there can be little traps out there, and I was afraid to.
Why? You were afraid to look up if your parents were still alive and they had no idea where you or their granddaughter were, you know, and you were too afraid to Google that in case there's like, you know, little traps out there. In case they find you? They should. The FBI was looking for you, ma'am. The police and all of Joseph and all of his family, but also your own family. And her parents died not knowing where she was. But that's very sad. But the thing is, okay, maybe she had a legitimate reason to run from them. Okay. But to say, I wanted to look it up, but then I didn't because I know there could be like a little trail. You know what I mean? It sounds like, oh, you didn't want evidence to build up against you, or what? What are you hiding? What's the full story here?
Did you know there was a warrant out for your arrest back in the 80s and 90s?
No idea. I know that what I did was wrong. Now that I'm older and wiser, but I didn't see a way out.
Kind of with like just What did you tell Amanda happened with like her birth certificate or like her social or any records of her? Or did you already have that?
She asked me for, a lot of times she asked me questions about her father. And as she got older, I kind of told her she needed to stop asking because it could get me killed, is what I told her.
Ma'am, that sounds like a threat. you like, stop looking, that could get you killed. Oh, I don't know, that's how I heard it. It could just be, stop looking, because why? Why would it get you killed? That is extreme. It might get you busted as you are here, ma'am, but killed? Don't go looking for your dad now. It might get you killed. Why? Because he's mean and took photos of you? It's a little stretch for me. That's a stretch for me. I think she gave her daughter a big threat to be like, don't look, or you might get killed, because maybe she thought that's the way she could put some fear into her daughter so that she could stop asking questions and stop looking, right? But as I know, that need to look never stops. If you have a parent that's out there and there's another parent that has alienated you, you might want to look for them for the rest of your life.
And she finally just stopped, but she doesn't have a birth certificate.
Did she ever ask you for her birth certificate?
Yeah, she asked. I was lied.
So, being that she doesn't have a birth certificate, does she drive at all, or does she have any, like, you know, how does she go about that?
She drives, and I suspect that what she did was take the name that she has and the information that she could put together, and I believe she probably got a birth certificate, a true, real birth certificate of the person who has that true name.
Okay. Ma'am.
But I don't, she should not, she didn't do anything.
Yeah.
No,
She shouldn't get in trouble. I don't want her to get scared. I don't want her to.
She's not.
She's not in trouble or anything. It's just, it's because she's still, technically she's Michelle Newton. She's still listed as a missing person. So we have to cross those bridges to take her out as a missing person and everything, to where that's not out there, where if something happens in an aspect to where, you know, they do, you know, something to where they find, you know, evidence or anything like that, and it's like, hey, well, this is showing that this is Michelle, but this lady goes by Amanda, so we have to make sure that that's taken care of as well, that she's not listed as a missing person anymore also.
She always told me that I think she kind of always suspected something, because she always said, Mom, I'll love you. Even if you killed somebody, Mom, I would always love you. But I couldn't tell her, because when you tell somebody, that puts them in guilt. And I didn't want to do that.
Yes, ma'am.
Same with my husband.
Did he ever have any questions? Like, kind of, what you tell him about the years?
No, I think he was a little frustrated, because I've always driven, and when we came to Florida, my license expired and I didn't get it renewed. And I think he thinks I have a state ID card, because I just told him, which is true, I don't like to drive. I'm scared of driving.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole different subject, but it's hard to drive here.
Clearly not. You drove all over the damn country. From boyfriend to boyfriend, husband to husband, state to state, hiding your daughter from the FBI. I don't know. I'm not sure. I believe that she's afraid of driving. Maybe being afraid of being caught if you renew a driver's license. Okay. But also, the second guy, Wayne, said in that interview that she had never spent time with his family. That Michelle would go with him to church events, to church and things, but that Deborah would always back out of the plan, be like, oh no, I've got to do this, or oh no, I've got to be there, or oh no, I've got an appointment, and that she never in the 10 years spent any time with his family, and he said she always had a reason for it. Interesting.
So he just loves me so much, I think. He just kind of maybe believed me.
So you manipulated him so much that he was blind to it all and believed you, even though the guy now that you're married to is former law enforcement. That tells me she's highly manipulative, right? And not some innocent damsel in distress, in my opinion, okay? Yeah. So Reggie believed her, even though things didn't quite make sense. And you could see when he's like, what's going on, Sharon, in that body cam? She's like, I didn't do anything. To me, it seemed like, oh man, what is it? It's almost like he's like, oh, I knew there's something up. What is this now? Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you, so let's kind of go back a little bit. Just kind of a quick question. Back in Georgia, did anybody ever come looking for you and Michelle?
You mean like knock on the door and question?
Like Joseph, did he ever come looking for
Oh,
you?
no.
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 According to him, he did, and according to his family members, they literally drove to Georgia looking for them.
Honestly, maybe he was glad with the distance between us because it left him free to do the things he wanted to do, which was be with other people.
I don't think so. Sorry. I don't have to believe her. You can believe her if you want, okay? We all are entitled to our own opinions. Make up your own mind. I don't believe her. I think she wanted to go off and be with other people. It's like projecting, you know what I mean? And putting that on him. And maybe he did. But she also went off to be with other people. The second guy said that she had, before him, gone overseas on a trip and brought back some young man from another country with her and dated him for a while. I don't know what happened to that man. I don't know where he is. I don't even know who he is. I'm just saying like, oh. She definitely, she dated around. It's not just like, oh no, I left him and that was it. And he just wants to be with other people. Ma'am, we already know of 3, okay? And I'm not saying, I'm not slut shaming her. I'm not saying that's a lot or something. I'm just like, no, you two wanted new relationships, other relationships, and as you said in your own words, when you wanted to break up with the one guy, you went to another state. I was dating a guy and I wanted to get away, so then I moved to Pennsylvania. Like, wow, okay.
He did come looking for you guys in Georgia. I guess you found some paperwork there for divorce, and he actually tried knocking on the door to where you guys were living at. Do you remember that?
There you
at all?
go.
Never.
Oh my.
And that's kind of 2 sides. So this is what he said throughout the years back in the 90s, and this is what you're saying now.
I understand that, but never. Neither did my mother nor my father. I don't know truthfully if anyone had the street address of where I was living at.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why she says street address, because it is a street address. It's not a street address, it's a street address. Well, clearly Joseph had it because he apparently tried to go there and divorce your ass and knock on the door. That's what the police are saying. But again, it's his word, her word. That's what's going on in this case. We got to remember that. This is her story. We need to hear his story. I want to hear Joseph's story as well. I want to hear from the extended family members, if we can, at some point, right, as well. And this case is interesting because there's other cases like it that never get solved. They're cold cases always, and here we are out here sharing on social media, you know, with all our heart and souls, hoping these children are found. Like, 20 years later, 30, 42 years later, age progression photos and all sorts of things. And yet in this case, this is one of those cases that shows us, oh, maybe somebody just ran off, changed their name, and they don't want to be found for whatever reason. I just wish they would tell the authorities so that the whole world can just know that they're not missing children for 42 years.
Because it was a house that had a couple of rooms for rent. And I can't even tell you where.
Okay, that's why I asked if you remember the street address or anything.
I don't.
Kind of going back at that time, when you found, or when they assumed that you were going to the job in Georgia, did you go there first and then come back?
Yes.
Okay. So you kind of you went to Atlanta or into Georgia and the Atlanta area, kind of got something established there, went back, and then that's when you got your daughter? Or did she go with you the first time?
I don't think she went with me the first time. It was a very quick trip.
Okay.
And basically, I just was really trying to make sure that I could do what I felt like I needed to do.
Right. Now with what you were saying, that Joseph, with the photographs and everything like that, was there any other type of domestic abuse or anything like that? Anything else going on? Anything physical?
Oh,
or
yeah.
anything?
Yeah.
What all happened with that?
He would hurt me.
Yeah.
He would hit me. He would hurt me. He would force me. But most of all, it was the threats. But yeah, he was.
Pictures and everything.
Yeah, and there was a time, the biggest thing that I remember that has nothing to do with this, but his family, brothers and sisters, were at the house, and I made spaghetti, and he was coming home from work with one of his colleagues, and they were late, and there was no more spaghetti.
Right.
Because everybody ate it. And he took a knife and bam, slammed it on the table. And his family was there. His brothers and his sisters were there.
Okay.
I mean, he was not even afraid to show that side in front of his family.
Again, if that's true, if Joseph hit her and forced her and all the things she just said, that is very sad. That is devastating. That would be domestic violence, right? I still think, I know hindsight's 20/20, that there's an appropriate way to deal with it, to tell the FBI or the police, especially when you get away safely. This is why we got away and we're okay now. So that for 42 years, people aren't looking for you, and so that you don't have to lie with your social security, your identity. You don't have to lie to your daughter and everyone that you go on to have relationships with, right? So, okay, let's keep listening.
What was your name? What was I looking for? Who did you live with? And do you live by yourself in Tampa? Just you and Michelle?
Well, we did, but then I moved into a house with a roommate.
Who was your roommate?
Pat Johnson. Patricia.
Did she live in Georgia with you at all or no? Okay.
No.
Do you know a Michael Hartman?
Yes.
Okay. Who is he to you?
He's the one who helped me get the false identification.
Okay. Did he move down to Tampa with you at all, or?
He did not move down to Tampa with me, but I heard rumors that he did move to St. Petersburg.
Okay.
No, never lived with him in Tampa.
Did any other roommates move down from Georgia? Okay, just Michael. He didn't move with you, but he moved down to that area.
I heard that he moved.
Okay.
with someone else down to St. Petersburg. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't even know if he's still alive either.
And you said you were in Atlanta for approximately a year, around 1983, and then left Tampa to Pennsylvania in 86.
I think so.
Okay.
I'm kind of trying to count the years by this.
That's fine.
But the time in Georgia, I don't think it was a whole year. I think I'm left in March or April, and I don't remember being there at Christmas time.
I got you. How long were you in Pennsylvania?
Until 2008.
2008.
Then I got a job transfer to Charlotte, North Carolina,
Okay.
Where were you working at?
Wells Fargo. And then I moved up here in 2013,
To those?
retired 2 years ago. Because I don't know if it makes any sense, but I've been me for so long. I've just been me. I don't know how else to explain it.
It's been a long time. A very long time.
And when I met Reggie, I was just me. And I think there were always times when I felt bad. But how do you go backwards? How do you tell somebody? How do you tell somebody who's been a member of the law enforcement? He's probably one of the best people you'll ever meet. He's involved in the community. He's in the Marine Corps League. He does all these things for Toys for Tots and people. And I didn't want to ruin that. And I guess now I've ruined it anyway.
Well, if the story is what you say it is, and you were trying to get away and did get away from an abusive husband, why would you not be able to tell anyone that? Would you not tell your husband that? Listen, my name is changed. It's for my protection. He might come after me. So, yeah, the name I have now, Sharon, that's not my real name. That's what I'm saying. There's other skeletons in this lady's closet. I buy that story less than there's more skeletons in her closet. And the feeling that I personally get from watching how she tells the story is that she feels a lot of shame. There's a lot of shame about whatever it is she's done in her life. And I understand that victims of domestic violence can also feel a lot of shame, okay? So, disclaimer, I'm fully aware of that. I'm just thinking about how a lot of her story doesn't quite add up. Because if he said, Joseph, if you divorce me or if you leave me, I'm going to share these pictures or old-fashioned films or whatever with your family. But then she leaves, she like runs away. Wouldn't he do that anyway then? Do you know what I mean? I don't know if that adds up at all. And also to leave your own mother, father, and sister over the pictures? Interesting. It just seems like quite an extreme response to a threat like that, but yet she was young, okay? I just think that there's more deception going on here than we know. And she says it fully confidently. No one but me knows this entire story. Yeah, well, we want to know because you know why? Ordinarily, we wouldn't know. Ordinarily, we wouldn't even see this. This wouldn't even have made the news. Why do we know? It's because it's shocking that she lied for 42 years when the FBI, the police, everybody was involved, everybody looking for her, and her own daughter knowing, having that hunch, that gut instinct that something is off, something's way off. I need to keep looking. I'm sure my father is out there. And she's now reunited with him. You know, and if you haven't seen that interview, go check that out as well.
I wouldn't technically really say you ruined anything. I mean, it's, you have your reasons of, protecting you and your daughter. And I mean, that's...
But I should have told the truth a long time ago. Do you know if my parents are alive?
They are not alive, no. your sister is.
Do you know if Joseph is alive?
Joseph is still alive. Your sister was made aware that we located you. Okay. I'm going to make sure that you're in contact with the detective up there as well. I mean, I've found Facebook posts of them wanting to make contact with you and they miss you and they just want you back. Your sister, so.
I never saw anything. But then again, I really didn't look.
Yeah.
And I know her married name, and I thought about looking to see if she had a family. And I know she has a daughter named Jennifer. But that's all I know. And Jennifer is probably 45 years old.
Yeah. How did you, throughout the years, how did you enroll Amanda into school?
I don't know what you mean.
Like, you didn't need a birth certificate?
Just a fake one.
Fake one. The name Amanda on it? Okay. And was it in Pennsylvania?
School?
Mm-hmm.
She went to first grade in Tampa. And then when we moved, she went to school in Exeter. And then
Was that Exeter?
Exeter, Pennsylvania.
Oh, Pennsylvania. Okay.
And then I bought a house in Reading, and she finished school in Reading and then Catholic school. I was a good mom. I was a good mom.
When did you meet Mr. Reggie? We've been married.
Even the way she's like, I was a good mom, and how emotional she gets. If I were to analyze that statement, one could speculate that she says, I was a good mom, okay, but not good at anything else, is what it implies. Like, not a good wife, not a good partner, whatever it is, or that I lied, or I know that it's wrong, but I was a good mom. You know, I'm so glad that she was as well. And Michelle, her daughter, loves her. You know, she's expressed it on interviews, she's expressed it in communications with me as well. She will stand by her mom, she loves her mom, but she also is so glad to be reunited with her dad and that whole side of the family, and is trying to process all of this. And I really commend her for the way that she's doing it.
23 years, so probably 26 years ago.
So 2000. So you're in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So right around 2000. Are you going on 26 years or 25 years?
No, we've been married 23 years.
23.
Is he okay?
Your husband? He's right there.
But is he
We'll let you
okay?
talk to him. Yeah, we'll let you talk to him. While we're here, she is still considered a missing person, so we are going to have the local police department reach out to her. Would you like to talk to her on the phone? Okay, we'll get that. We'll make sure that happens, okay?
Before they do or after?
It unfortunately has to be after. Okay?
She's going to be terrified.
So we need to, just because she's still entered as a missing person, visually see her, and then kind of, we're going to make sure that it's explained in a way where she understands. She might not understand, but in a way where somebody who is not just a regular patrol deputy who has facts to the case can go to the house and say, hey, this is what's going on, and then we'll let you make that phone call.
They're not going to ambush her
We're going to make sure that it's not,
because this was really scary.
I'm sorry.
I would have come to you if I knew. I really would have.
I believe that. No, ma'am. 42 years. I don't think you would have come to anyone if you knew. You knew, man. You knew. Her dad's out there looking for her, you know what I mean? It was all over the news as well. Flyers everywhere, in every state, all over. listed on many websites. I wish they could extract all her cell phone history and try to see if she actually ever looked it up, because she may have looked it up a lot, even though she's saying she didn't at all. That one, I'm not so sure about either. You didn't look it up at all these years? Wow. Interesting. Okay. Also, the way that Michelle dealt with hearing that the cops apparently said, you're not who you think you are, you're actually a missing person, and this is your real name. And she's like, oh, okay, it all makes sense now. In her interview, she says, now it makes sense, because she's always had that gut instinct. She's always been digging, looking, asking questions, looking through Ancestry.com, all of that, right? So it was like kind of a relief to her to finally have an answer.
I'm not a bad person. I'm just not a bad person.
And we're not saying you are. We're not saying that at all, no ma'am. It's just certain things, especially in our profession, we have where people will run
I know.
and hide and stuff. And
I can't do that anymore. I'm too old.
And to be 100% honest with you, we were trying to do it in a way to where we didn't really cause attention, but we also wanted kind of the same outcome as you do, like to go ahead, like resolve this. That way it wasn't another 15, 20 years of this case remaining open. So that's why we kind of all teamed up and waited, because we didn't want to spook you, and then we were under, as long as you've been as Miss Sharon, we didn't want to like scare you or anything in the aspect of where you went higher, deeper hidden, and we couldn't
I
get
wouldn't do
this.
that. I'm done.
So yeah,
And when I saw that name on the folder, it was just like so much like a knife going through me to see that last name. I mean, that's it. I know that's who it is, but that's not me. I don't want to be that person.
which is
See, to me, again, that's got the vibe of shame. The way she's like, I don't want to, do you see her hand? Like, I don't want to be that person. I'm not that person. I'm just me. I'm not that person. Okay. What did you do, ma'am? It's okay. Whatever you did, people can forgive you. You can forgive yourself no matter what it is. You know what I mean? If you feel like you betrayed yourself in any way, hopefully she knows she doesn't have to run from that feeling for the rest of her life. She can face it. And people will likely forgive her. But most importantly, she needs to forgive herself, right?
from what you've told us and everything, and we understand, why. I have a past, and I'm not that person anymore. I had to move away from my family and everything as well. Met my wife here in this county and everything. I'm not from here. So, it's been a better life for me. I didn't do it the same way you did, but...
Well, we're all doing story time today.
To do that.
I'm sure you didn't break any rules like I did.
Not to get away, no ma'am, but I did break rules.
Sir, no. Stop the story time now. He's like,
I didn't want to do it that way.
Yeah, and we understand that too, because we understand that, it's different from how it is in the 80s and compared to now. We know that back in their domestic violence was not a thing like it is now. A lot of times, back in the day, that we know that a lot of females didn't have a voice. So, we understand that.
I tried when I was in Charlotte to do things like with Trust for Success and domestic violence survivors. Even here, I try to behind the scenes work and donate and stuff, because I know what it's like to not have a place to go. There's just nowhere to go.
Yes, ma'am. And it's not perfect now, but we definitely got some of those avenues and everything now. But it's still a work in progress. So.
Do you have any questions for us right now?
What happens next?
Okay, since you do have a warrant for your arrest, okay, we're going to process you and book you. And then, I'm not sure what the timeline is, but Kentucky has a certain amount of time to extradite you back to Kentucky. Okay? You'll have a court.
That must be a shock. Like, I'm going back to Kentucky? Yeah, that's where you're going to face the consequences. Also, while it may have been more difficult for victims of domestic violence in the 80s and 90s to get the help that they needed to have a voice, all of that, right? It was also unlikely for the father to get full custody of the daughter, right?
Hearing will be in front of a judge, but honestly, we don't know what happens after we drop you off. There's a process. Just because you're out of Kentucky, there's legal proceedings, and it's going to be a little bit.
What's a little bit mean?
How many days do they have to bring her back, or to extradite her? Like 7 days, 10 days to put a hold on her. So I'm going to be honest with you. It's going to be a couple of weeks. I'm not sure if they're going to, extradite you back to Kentucky. We're not the state of Kentucky. We don't know what they're going to do. We've been in contact with them, but we don't know what they're going to do.
But
you're going to go to the jail today. You do have a warrant, so you're going to jail today.
But what does bonding do?
You have a bond. That means you have to put up cash in order to get released from jail with a court date. The problem is,
and her husband did that, Reggie. I think it was Reggie that bailed her out. She's out on bond.
That we're not in Kentucky. So they would have to extradite you back to Kentucky where they give that bond, correct? I believe in the state of Florida right now you're held under no bond. So you don't have a bond in the state of Florida. When you go back to Kentucky, you will have a bond. If you post that bond, they'll give you a court date, and then you have to make that court date.
Do I get to leave the state of Kentucky?
I am not sure.
Wow.
That would be something where they would explain all that to you, to where, if they had you on like a probation or like a supervised, where you have to speak with a probation officer or anything like that, they can transfer it. But like I said, it's kind of their court with that.
We'll be right outside. I'll let you talk to your husband, and then we'll kind of get the process going, okay? And we're going to make sure that you get that phone call with your daughter, too, okay? 'Cause it's going to be... I just want to make sure that there's no questions that go unanswered from you, your daughter, and your husband. So give me a second, okay? I'll bring him in.
Okay, so I was just quickly doing some research because I remember reading about her posting bond. And Uncle Google tells me, Uncle Google's gonna get, she was not extradited to Kentucky. Instead, a family member traveled to Kentucky and posted her bond. Following this, she voluntarily appeared in Jefferson Circuit Court for arraignment on or around December 8th of 2025, where she pleaded not guilty. And her next court appearance is January 23rd of 2026. And we take it from there. If you haven't yet checked if your like button works, please check if it works. Give it a tap, okay? Make sure you are subscribed, notifications on. Comment below, especially after watching the whole video. And do not shame each other. Don't shame me either. You should be ashamed of yourself, Gislin. Why? We're all allowed to have different opinions. Keep an open mind until we hear the whole story. Don't fight with each other. Don't shame each other. And be careful with your own trauma, right? You know what I mean? Because it can get very personal and hostile in the comment section sometimes. So just everybody deep breaths, okay? But I'd love to hear your thoughts.
You okay with your husband coming in here? Okay.
Here comes Reggie. And Reggie will be in law enforcement mode. He got a checklist. He's writing things down. He wants to know how to run the house, how to feed the dog. Okay?
You don't have a whole lot of time, so maybe try to do.
I called Judy. I already asked them for a copy of the warrant and the affidavit of probable cause. Well, they're telling me now that you won't be home for a while, that you're going to be going to Kentucky.
If they come for me 7 days, they have 7 days.
But they have to hold you for 7 days. And then, so there's a lot of things I need to know for Kira first and foremost. What do I need to know? Is there any medicines I need to be
No
giving
medicines.
her? Her food?
In the freezer.
Okay.
Use the ones in the little bowls first.
Yeah. And then fill the little bowls when they get empty.
There's packages. You cut the package into eights.
Okay.
Each 8 goes into a bowl. And that's for 4 days.
Okay.
Write it down.
Okay.
I think he's so cute. All right, now listen. Gets into the space there. Listen, we're gonna need to now write this down. Now tell me, how do I feed the dog? Tell me how do you exactly what I gotta do with that? Oh yeah, you cut that. Okay, cool. Next, just to make sure that it continues to run probably a tight ship. Like, how does this work? What are we doing? What should I do next? What's important? Checklist. I like his way of thinking. I think I'd probably do the same.
And more will be coming the week of December 4th.
It's 1/8 each time?
1/8 in the morning and 1/8 at night.
Okay. Anything else I need to know about her? What about an appointment for her hair or anything like that?
Yeah, but they'll text me.
Okay. And you need to give me the codes to your phone.
Abby.
That's the phone code. Anything else that I need to know about the house or the homes or anything else?
The money's in the savings account, so you have money to use. That was the last of my money.
Okay. I don't know when they're going to let you call. Call me. You won't have a phone, so I don't know when they're going to call. So you never get a chance to call us now. I'll try to. You haven't talked to Amanda yet?
They're going to call her for me.
Okay. I don't know what. She needs to talk to Judy. She can talk to Judy. I don't know if you're going to get a public defender over there or a lawyer or something, but they can always call Judy, and Judy can work with them. And if not, I can always check with Jess to see if she has any contacts or knows any attorneys in Kentucky. So I don't know.
It's a long road.
Mm-hmm. What else do you need to tell me?
I'm sure they told you everything.
I didn't ask a whole lot.
I was me when I met you. I was me when I met you. I was me.
I know.
It's been just so long, and I just had to get away. And that's the only way I could do it. And that goes back to, I think they said 1983.
Okay.
I ran.
You know when it goes back to.
I ran away. I left my mom. I left my dad. I left my sister.
See, I never even knew you had a
know.
sister.
I know.
I didn't know if were your mom and dad alive when we got married?
I don't know. I've never looked. I couldn't. I was afraid to. I was afraid if I looked, it would be one of those little trails, but they're not alive anymore.
Okay.
I never.
Okay.
I never even got to say goodbye or anything. I just left. I ran away. I went to Georgia. I went to this person who said I could go underground, and they gave me fake ID for Amanda. I had to do it.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You're the best person in the world, and I just never wanted to hurt you. But if I told you, it made you guilty. And I didn't want to do that to you.
Okay. Well, I'll talk to Judy and Reggie tonight. And I'm sure Amanda will probably call.
She's going to have a really...
She's going to have a hard time.
I know. But I think she had some ideas, because when she would ask me for her birth certificate and stuff, I would never give it to her because it was fake.
Okay, so you don't have a real one for her?
No.
Okay.
I think she got a real one by reaching out to... I think she has a real one, but it's not under her real name.
Okay. I don't think that's fair to her.
Anything else you need to say before I go? I got to go back to Kira. Kira's a mess.
I know.
I know, and I love you.
I just hope you can forgive me for not telling you. I couldn't.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry.
Well, we're in your corner. We're going to do whatever we can. Whatever it takes. Judy said already today that, if she needed to fly down here, she'd be here in 3 hours. So I won't call Jess for a while, because Jess is the aggressive one. Judy can talk to people. Jess is just too powerful.
Oh, Cheryl,
I don't know.
avoid her. She'll post it all over Facebook. I want to come home.
And now it's all over the internet, because it is shocking that one could have a missing child for 42 years, and that child grows up to be an adult and has plenty of questions, and she's lied to as well.
Okay.
But they said you can't just get bond and leave here. That has to come from Kentucky.
As soon as you're able to post bond, you have to, I guess, is there any way that you can do it, or do you need to get me to do it?
Do you know the answer?
What's that? I'm sorry.
The post bond, can she do it? I mean,
Or does someone
or
have
do
to
I
do
have
it
to
for
post
me?
bond for her?
I mean, I've never been in Kentucky, but I know in our jails,
Yeah.
I know when you do it, you have to have either like a credit card in your possession and stuff like that, and you don't have that in your property at the jail. Usually here, everybody kind of does it outside and helps that way. Because then there's certain things that you can do on the outside that you can't do in jail, because you don't have computer access to Google different bondsmans or anything like that. And I think here they only have like a list on the wall. And like I said, and sometimes depending on the bondsman, they want documentation of like collateral and stuff like that too. So, but it just all depends on who you speak with at the bondsman places
Judy
and all
can
that.
probably answer that.
Yeah, I know. I can get that. I just didn't know.
I'm just not familiar with Kentucky.
That's good. Nor am I.
Just remember with Kira, the first day is going to be really rough, and tonight will be really rough.
Sure,
but
I know.
she'll get used to it. She'll be all right.
She was a mess. She doesn't understand, but that's okay. I'll love her as much as I can.
I don't understand, but I know I have to do the right thing now.
Yeah, I have to do the right thing.
I told them everything I could.
Okay.
There's no running.
No more secrets. Okay.
Do you think there's no more secrets?
I just want to come home and I just want to come home and work it out.
Okay. Well, you don't have to worry about working it out at all. We'll work to it.
What are you going to do?
Shame.
Please, for God's
I don't know. I just don't.
He's so nice.
If I can't get anybody to watch Kira, I just have to tell them they got to get somebody else to do my run. It's almost impossible to get anybody else to do my run.
You can get Cheryl Wright to come in and look at Kira.
Okay. I don't have her number. Her number's in your phone, Cheryl Wright. Okay.
And Ellen's got it.
Okay, I'll talk to Ellen.
I know Ellen sent a text, but I don't know what she said.
Okay.
Because we just thought this was a joke when they came to the house. I thought it was something to do with the play.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I guess you need, I don't know, they'll probably be reaching out to you. So I need to answer the phone.
I can't.
Yeah. Anything else that I need to know?
I'm sure that when you leave, I'll think of 10 things.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, when you get a chance to call me, let me know. And,
Do you know his number by heart?
yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say, if not, I can write it down for you.
When you go home, I would say if I have any electronics, like the Kindle is fine. If I had taken off the charger,
I'll take off the charger.
it shouldn't stay there.
And your
that long.
bike shouldn't be, okay.
My bike's not charged.
Okay.
I have 2 pair of biking shorts on.
All right.
Just tell me I can get through this, please.
You'll make it through. Okay, we'll be there when we get done.
You'll make it through too.
We'll make it through.
Kara doesn't get any medicine. She's okay.
All right.
If she needs her ears wiped out, good luck.
All right. If I have to, I'll take it to the vet.
No.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Reggie.
Okay.
Where are you going to take me to?
It's just right down the road. It's the Marion County Jail. And like I said, if you didn't have his number, I could write it down for you. But if you know it, once you actually get booked in and processed, you'll be able to get on the phone and call him and everything too.
Do you get to come and see me?
It's all video visitation.
Do you know how to do that?
No,
So there's a I'll kind of draw you like a little map real quick. So like when you kind of came in,
just tell me what it is, because I can get it.
it's the jail visitation. So
I can Google it.
Yeah, you got the jail visitation over here. So like this is where we're at right now.
Okay.
And if you keep kind of going down this road, it kind of goes like this to Highway 27.
Okay.
And then there's a road that comes to the left, and you'll see like a guard shack where you kind of come in and you go to the left, and the jail visitation's over there.
Okay.
But you can't see me?
It's through video.
Video.
Yes, ma'am. We don't have it to where like you see on TV or anything where there's like a glass in the phone. We don't have that.
So I'll be in a room and you'll be somewhere else, and it's like a television?
Yes, ma'am. There'll be a television and video screen. Yes, ma'am.
They've been really nice to me.
Okay, good. You just take care of yourself. Okay. I do love you.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I know. We'll get through this, okay?
Are they going to take away my rings?
I believe you can keep your wedding ring, the wedding band, but I think everything else, unless it's all one solid piece.
No, if you want to take it. Because my wedding ring will fall off. These hold it on.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, like I said, that's up to y'all.
Yeah.
I think it's wedding rings and I
Yeah,
think
that's
like
okay, I'll take
religious aspects or whatever. But
Maybe I can leave that one. Because it's okay.
do you have any necklaces or anything? No. Okay.
When you get to Kentucky, let me know where you are, and I'll come up, and I'll bring you home.
You're going to bring the baby?
Well, you should get with me.
Are those rings going to be safe
Yes,
in your
I get
pocket?
home. Yeah, but there's nothing I can do until I get home. All right, take care.
I'm sorry you have to deal with the neighbors.
Yeah. I know.
Just tell them it's my story to tell. I love you.
I love you too.
And now we still have about 14 minutes left, and part of that would be the phone call that she can have with her daughter.
Oh, we'll get a card. Okay, all right.
Yep.
She's in the naughty corner. She tells police she sits here because this chair is more comfortable, but it is also conveniently not in view of the camera anymore, right? If she sits in this corner here. Because I'm sure by now she feels exposed, you know what I mean? I edited out quite a bit of this fluff, but you can see here we're watching still quite a bit of it because I just wanted you to see, you know, for yourself her behavior after all of this, you know, after speaking to her husband and all of that.
Sorry.
You remember that bathroom you used earlier?
Yes.
Yeah. Just go right there.
Thank you.
Absolutely. You mind just sitting in that corner for me?
That chair's so hard.
I got you, I understand. Thank you.
It's like, ma'am, we would like to film you. Okay, just go sit over there, where the camera has a full view of you. All right? These other chairs do look more comfortable, though, right?
We were finally able to get Amanda or Michelle. So I got it muted right now, but I'm going to take it off mute and I'll let you.
Okay.
Now she's going to talk to her daughter.
I think she's more scared for you. She asked if you were okay and everything. So.
Hello?
Hey, Mama.
I love you.
Are you okay? I love you too. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. All right? It's gonna be okay.
All right.
Okay? It's gonna be okay. I love you. I told you before, whatever it is, it's okay. And ride or die. You're my mama, and you're okay. Okay?
All right. I told him that you said that.
I love you.
I love you too.
I know that everything you've ever done has been to take care of me, and I am here. Whatever they tell me I can do. Can I do something to get you out, or?
I don't know. It's going to be a while.
Okay. Do you need me to talk to Reg? Is there anything I can do at all?
No, he's okay. He was here.
Okay.
He's worried about Kira. I'm worried about Toys for Tots.
It's the little things you worry about. I get it. It's okay. It's all right.
Are you home?
I just got home. Yeah, the kids called me and told me that the police were here, and I kind of detoured and came back because I didn't know what was going on. And
were they nice to you?
He was very nice. He's coming back in a few minutes. They have to do a DNA test. So, of course, I whatever I need to do to fix this. And
the DNA doesn't lie.
Well, it's okay. Like I said, I mean, you and I have been round and round for a long time with me asking questions, and I feel like you would have just had peace. I just want you to be okay. That's it. Okay? It's all right.
I'll be okay.
We will be okay. All right? Let me just figure out what I need to do on this side. I'll talk to the detective and find out what I have to take care of.
Reggie said if you need to talk to Judy, you can talk to Judy.
Okay.
Judy said if she needs to come, she can be here in 3 hours, so.
Okay. Well, I'm kind of thinking I need to get a flight and get down there, so.
Can she see me if she comes down?
It would only be the video visitation.
Oh, you wouldn't be able to see me.
Okay. I don't even know if I'll be able to fly. I don't know what this happens with my identity or my passport or anything. I'll figure all that out. Priority right now is you. It's gonna be okay. Okay. You remember the version of you with the cement and busting up the back to make the driveway because you wanted it?
Because I can do anything.
Because you could do anything, right?
Yeah.
And whatever you did, I know was to keep me safe. I have no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, I know. I'm just a little scared.
It's okay. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to be scared. I love you. I need you to just breathe and keep in fact, like, I'm right with you. Even though I'm up here, I am right with you, and we will figure it out.
All
okay?
right. Well,
it's going to be okay.
I guess your husband really isn't going to like me now.
That's not my concern. I don't care what he thinks. It's okay.
I know.
It's not his life. It's not his relationship. It has nothing to do with him. It's
I
okay.
know. I just needed to laugh.
It's okay. I'm sending you the biggest hug right now, okay?
All right.
All right, I love you. I'm going to talk to the detective and find out what I need to do next. I'm going to take care of stuff with the police. And is Reggie allowed to see you?
He can come to some kind of a video conference,
okay,
but not see me in person. I guess from what I understand, I'm in a room with the TV and he's in another room with the TV. And we kind of like FaceTime, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, he said pretty much.
Okay, it's gonna be okay, Mom.
I know.
Okay.
I know. I love you.
I love you too.
I wish I could have told you. I wish I could have told you all those times ago. And
it was a big thing for you to carry, and I hate that this is going on, but I'm also really happy that you don't have to carry it by yourself anymore. This is what I told you before.
I know, but if I would have told you, it would have made you guilty, and I didn't want to do that.
Well, that's a whole lot for a mom to carry on her shoulders, woman.
I know.
I would have been guilty with you. It would have been okay.
I know. But it would have changed your life, and I didn't want to do that.
Well, I have the life I have because of you, and that is what matters right now. So,
I think it would have made her found rather than guilty. You know what I mean? I think telling Michelle would have been fair, and I think telling the FBI and law enforcement and really everyone would have been fair. You know, and I don't know, I just haven't seen Deborah express fear now of like, oh no, like, wait. She didn't express fear when they said that Joe is still alive. Like, oh no, I can't see him, he can't come get me, we're in danger, we gotta run, you gotta protect my daughter. None of that. So I don't know, I just feel like 42 years on the run with a new identity. Using someone's real birth certificate? But faking your identity, oh my.
we're going to figure this out, and everything is going to be okay.
All right.
All right?
Tell the kids I love them.
I will.
All right.
I absolutely will. I love you, Mama.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye. She's a good girl.
She is. Yes, ma'am. You're a good mom.
She's calling me
Yes,
back.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We'll be right back, all right?
I think Michelle's handling it extremely well.
All right, this deputy's gonna take you to the jailhouse, okay? Do you have any questions for me? And then we'll be in contact. If you're there and you have any questions, you can ask for me and I'll go and talk to you over there. So I'll make sure that I'm in contact with your husband. If he calls me, he has any questions, I'll answer them too. And I'm gonna try to give your daughter as much information as I have. It's been a long time. I know there's a lot of things going on, but I want to be as transparent as possible.
It's hard to remember a lot of things.
It's okay.
I don't remember your name.
Tony, you can call me Tony. My last name is Esquivel. It's kind of complicated to pronounce, but my name's Tony. Detective Tony, you can call me. Okay? And then when your daughter calls me later or tomorrow, if she has any questions, I'll explain everything to her. But it sounded like it went pretty well, so, I mean.
She's a good girl. She's a really good girl. But I don't know if she wants to come down. I don't know that there's anything she can do here.
No, I don't think, not right now.
So if you talk to her, try to make her understand that. I think it would just be worse.
And are you okay with me telling her what you told me about your ex-husband? Okay. All right.
Because I didn't get to say much to her. But she understands. She knows. She knows I wouldn't do it if she knows.
Stephanie's going to handcuff you in the front. It's just our policy. And then we'll get the process going, okay? All right.
Please don't make him so tight.
I won't. I'll make sure.
I'm not going to do anything. I promise.
And it's a less than 2-minute drive from.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty.
It's from here to the jail is right there, okay?
What are you doing this?
You can just leave it right there. Thank you.
I know. I have this fear of being trapped.
I got you. Look, I'm going to try and make them as loose as I can, all right?
I promise I won't take them off.
You mind if I just take this off for right now? Because it's going to come off later at the jail anyway, just so I don't forget it.
What are you going to do with it?
I'm going to hold on to it and I'm going to put it in property for you.
Okay.
Let me lock these so they don't tighten up on you.
This is a really horrible day.
I mean, it is a horrible day, but there were many horrible days for the extended family members, for Joseph and his whole family, thinking of the worst possible outcome, for Deborah and Michelle. They were really worried about them. So I think about them as well, right? Well, if you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for still being here. If you skipped to the end to hear my take on the case, then naughty. You got to go back and watch the interview, okay? So, in my opinion, the thing that I said I would offer right at the beginning of this video, based on my own personal experience, just one other possibility is I'm going to give my story as an example, and I'm not going to go too much into it. I'm really just giving a very brief overview, okay? But my mother did something that she was ashamed of when I was like 6 months old. And that actually led to eventually my father leaving, and then eventually custody battles, and then I would have to spend time with my father, with my mother, all of that, right? But then after some time, when I was around 11 years old, then I was no longer allowed to see my biological father. And it was actually because of child support that just went higher, 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 and all sorts of games in the court, okay? That's how it was. And I myself had a name change after that based on what my mother and stepfather did, okay? And the point of it is that the story I was told was that I must never look for my father. If I do, that my mother and stepdad will never talk to me again. And that he actually is dangerous. He is in a mental institute. And that it's the end of the story. Never talk about him again. And I was literally never allowed to again. And I think that was really unfair, right? And again, it just goes back to the shame and then the almost like spite that my mother had, right, towards this man. But what that did to me as a young girl was that I always longed to look for my father, always longed to be like, I need answers. Like, this doesn't make any sense. And then when I got married and had to get a birth certificate, and all of that, it was difficult. It took me 2 years to get my birth certificate, and I found that really confusing. And there's just a lot that I learned in that process, right? Now, the point of me telling you this, just a brief overview, okay, is simply to say, maybe Deborah did something in her life at that time when she was with Joseph that made her feel a lot of shame. And maybe she took off and decided to change her name and also her daughter's name and just never look back. That is the one opinion I just wanted to share, because my mother too told me that my father is this monster and he's all of these things. And yet, while, he didn't turn out to be the very best guy on the planet, because I did find him. And also, like Michelle, through Ancestry.com and all of that. Now, it wasn't a story like this. I wasn't a missing person or anything like that. There were huge fallouts between all the parents and all this kind of stuff, right? But I always had questions, and they always nagged at me. And I probably still don't have all the answers, honestly. But I found him, and I got to sit down with him and talk to him and all of that. And it just had been so long, 17 years of wondering and all of that, that it was so nice to finally get his side of the story and to hear, even what he thought about her, and see letters that she had written and all sorts of things I had no idea about. So the only reason I'm telling this little story, just summary version, is just to say, I just am cautious to say, yeah, Deborah was definitely running away from an abuser. He was a monster. He was a this, and he was sexually depraved, and he wanted her to, I don't know. I'm not sure. We need to hear the other side of the story. You know what I mean? Because I think there are cases where sometimes anyone, I was going to say women would throw the man under the bus, but it could be any way around. Any partner could throw the other one right under the bus and say, that person's crazy, that person's this, that person's that, when it's a really bad breakup, or if you're running away from them, like you just run and deprive them of their own child. You know what I mean? So I just want to consider that. Also because, Michelle herself is super protective of the dad that she's now reunited with and spending time with, and Deborah would also know that, and she's not like, no, don't go see him, don't do any of that because he's so dangerous and all of this. That's not happening right now. She is spending time with him, holidays with the extended family, you know, really getting to know them. And he's just so happy about that because now she's got like all these family members that she always wondered about, right? So I'm really happy for her that that her story also turned out a little different than mine. For me, I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna, yeah, no, bye-bye, everybody. Walk away from it all. Just no. So yeah, I'm estranged from my family. It's not like a reuniting happy ending, but I'm okay with it. It's just, I just want to always hear both sides of the story and then make up my own mind. Okay? So that's the perspective I wanted to offer. And let me know what you think. I mean, do you think that Deborah left a deviant aggressor, an abusive man, and that it all makes sense in that way? Do you think, or do you think that maybe my perspective could make some sense too? Do you think it's a combination of them? I don't know. I just know that we do have to hear more of the story. I really think we've got the tip of the iceberg here. And ordinarily, really none of this would be our business. The reason it became the internet's business and the true crime world is because, like, oh my word, but like 42 years of a missing child. And her wanting to know, well, who am I really? Where's my birth certificate? Where's my dad? What is going on? She wanted those answers, and she's finally also getting those. So it is a case that was a cold case for 42 years that has just been solved. And yes, there will be some consequences, okay, that Deborah will face. We shall see what that will be. But I'm just glad that the case is closed, that it's been solved, that, you know, this little girl who then grew up, it's not like missing from when she's 3 years old. Like, it wasn't a case like, for example, Melody Buzzard's case. Oh my word, it wasn't a devastating outcome that involves homicide or abuse or things that we so often see in cases. Thank goodness this case is not like that. So to me, this case also represents that it gives us hope that cases can be closed, they can be solved, people can be found. And even though it's a little tricky ground to navigate and to understand and all of that, I'm so glad that this is the outcome. Because at the end of the day, it's a good outcome rather than never having answers. And I'm so glad that Joseph, Michelle's dad, is still alive to see the outcome, because he was looking for her for many, many years and must have always wondered as well, where's my daughter, right? And he missed out on all those years. So let's say if he's completely innocent and Deborah is throwing him under the bus for whatever reason, right, to justify her own selfish decisions, if that's what's happening, right, that's just one option. Shame. Then he missed out on 42 years with his own daughter. That is devastating. Anyway, looking forward to hearing your thoughts on this one. Thank you for following this case with me. Monitor the pinned comments just to see if there's any updates. I'll let you know. I don't know if we'll see much more. Like, is there going to be a trial? Is there going to be a guilty plea? Is there going to be, who knows what's going to happen from here? But I will keep you posted. And I really just wish everyone a lot of love and healing. And even for you listening, no matter what you've been through in life, just know you're not alone. And yeah, one should not run and hide, you know. Face yourself, forgive others, and just move forward in life, doing the very best that you can, right? Okay, everyone. In the meantime, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.